इन जनरल जॉर्जिया में पढ़ाई की टीचिंग स्टाइल कैसी है, क्लासेस कैसे होते हैं? Will I face a language barrier when interacting with patients?
One decides to become tomorrow's doctor, sort of way a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And we give that opportunity as a university. Students can actually form the whole schedule in a fun way for the learning process to become an interesting process.
Okay.
And give you
Any last message, like if a student wants to come here, any last message you want to give to him or her?
Well, we're waiting for it.
हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज शोएब आफ्ताब। और यार आज हम आए हैं इंटरनेशनल ब्लैक सी यूनिवर्सिटी जो कि तबलीसी में है, जॉर्जिया में। आज हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए क्योंकि इतने सारे क्वेरीज आ रहे थे, सो मैं यहाँ पे प्रोफेसर के साथ बैठा हुआ हूँ। सो ये एथिक्स जो है कवर करते हैं, पर्टिकुलरली आपको जैसे पता होगा मेडिकल एथिक्स हो गया। तो मैं थोड़ा इनके बारे में पूछूंगा कि ये क्या पढ़ाते हैं एग्जैक्टली, कैसे पढ़ाते हैं। इन जनरल जॉर्जिया में पढ़ाई की टीचिंग स्टाइल कैसी है, क्लासेस कैसे होते हैं, मैं सब कुछ पूछूंगा। और आप अगर प्रोफेसर से सुनेंगे डायरेक्टली तो वो better है, ठीक है। So welcome professor, and I have a lot of queries from students, but the first thing that obviously most students are interested in is that obviously we can start with your introduction a bit, and what exactly do you teach?
Namaste. Hello everyone. My name is 𝐂𝐨𝐮𝐫. I'm professor at International Black Sea University in Georgia. Those who want to study medicine abroad, then this is the right place to start. At International Black Sea University, we offer a strong medical education that prepares students for the careers all over the world. Literally, we try to give them all of the necessary knowledge for them to be used in the future in their academic and clinical careers as well. Me personally, I am professor of bioethics and professor in the field of scientific research methodology. So my direction at this university is basically teaching students communication skills, how to interact with the doctors, with the patients as doctors, and I also give them the knowledge in regards of ethical code of conduct at the workplace. And therefore I do teach medical ethics and also behavioral science. All of those subjects are, I would say, extremely important in the field of medicine, especially on the daily basis whenever we talk about human interaction and the proper type of communication with patients. As once one of the fathers of modern medicine, Sir William Osler, said, listen to your patient, he's telling you the diagnosis. So I'm also teaching students how to listen properly, because most of the people think that it is just about talking, but communication is all about listening as well.
Yes.
So therefore, we do teach how to communicate, how to act, how to properly conduct the medical practice, and how to properly practice in the field of medicine, I would say.
So you have heard him. This is what the teaching has been going on in the International Black Sea University. The other questions that most of the students ask is, how exactly does the teaching process work? Like, how do we learn from it? Is it blackboard teaching? Is it from presentations? Is it from different case scenarios? So what teaching methods do you currently employ?
Well, it's a very good question, because that is the basis of learning, I would say, right? So the way that, and we know that there are mainly three types of learners. These are the visual learners,
yes,
who visualize basically, and that can be the visualization of text or some visual information. For example, let's say watching some tutorials, some videos online, or in the classroom, and we have that. So visual learning. We've got auditory learning, which is basically listening to the instructor, mentor, or professor, right? While listening, we learn, all simultaneously, while visualizing and listening. So auditory and visual learners. And plus, we've got the kinesthetic learning, which is hands-on, right? That is, well, when students already apply the knowledge that they have already got through certain semesters in the clinical practice, right?
Learning while performing.
Yes, exactly. And that can be, for example, while having the opportunity to assist the doctors and supervisors in the clinical environments. In the classroom itself, different professors in different subjects have their own syllabi. So syllabus itself includes the learning methods. Me personally, I've got extremely diverse type of techniques and tactiques how to teach. And as far as I've listed communication skills, medical ethics, and behavioral science. All of them are pretty much of interactive type of directions. I've chosen the methods according to international standards and local standards. We've got, let's say, case-based learning, CBL. We've got problem-based learning, PBL. That's great. We've got also the role plays, which are extremely important, and students just love it. Whenever they perform as doctors and as patients, as legal guardians, they even judge certain situations. They perform as judges or ethics committee members, and they literally have to rule the situation and decide and bring the verdict. And everything that has to be happening based on the knowledge that they gain throughout the course itself. And this is the moment where they can show their knowledge in the field, and they can be evaluated as well. So those are, and also we have different methods of teaching, such as an evaluation as well, because we have to differentiate in between teaching methods and the methods of evaluation, right? Sure. So some of them can be different as well. So we've got standard-wise MCQs tests, we've got certain open-ended questions that we bring for the evaluation. And as I've already mentioned, each and every syllabus can be very specific and precise, but what I can say about my own directions, they are indeed very, let's say, interactive and productive in the sense that they are doing the things that I feel they may use in the nearest future whenever they become tomorrow's doctors.
That's great. So another question just related to this. What exactly is the schedule of a student here? Like how many lectures do they get to attend, and what's the duration of such lectures, and what's the exact timings?
The thing is that whenever somebody decides to become tomorrow's doctor, it is a sort of way a sacrifice.
Definitely.
Because being a medical doctor needs extreme type of dedication, enthusiasm, and extreme type of, let's say, motivation, inner motivation to just do the job 100%. I'm always telling my students, whenever we teach professional development, I'm always telling my students not to be reminded by the supervisors that certain deadline is upcoming or certain task needs to be done faster. So if you are wanting to become a professional, do things the way that you want to impress others.
Yes.
Do things the way that you want to set the new record or set the new level and the new set point, I would say, that others will be looking at, and they will be striving to get to that point. So therefore, the schedule is quite, let's say, demanding, I would say, academically and diplomatically, but it is all about time management. It's manageable. And it's also our duty and my duty as a professor to teach and instruct, give the mentorship to my students how to manage the time appropriately. Because for some, for example, if during the day you have 6 hours for the classes, that can be devastating and a very much of exhausting time period. However, for some, it may be quite, let's say, manageable from the terms of them having the right and proper type of time management, right? So it's extremely necessary nowadays, hectic world, especially, to have the proper time management, planning and time management. So it differs. On the daily basis, we have got different types of scheduling, we have got different types of agenda, but I have to inform all the students that they have to prepare mentally themselves, and of course we're here, and if we have made it, then they're able to make it as well. So if even one person has been successful in the field, that means that others can do it. It's just about doing things in an enjoyable type of way. And by the way, we have got a lot of social, let's say, activities.
That was my next question actually. Like, how's the culture out here, and do students involve themselves in some fun activities or in some cultural activities as well?
Well, absolutely, and that's one of my motivations towards the students as well, because me myself, beyond being, let's say, an academic person and professor in the field, I am also the representative of, let's say, musical industry as well, in the sense of being a professional artist, such as DJ producer.
Okay, that's
and I'm
great.
always,
That's
let's
great.
say, suggesting all of the students to manage things this way, that they have to create the environment where they will have the certain hobbies,
Yeah.
maybe even second profession as
Yeah,
such, because
okay.
I know that many of my Indian students, they are very talented
Yeah.
in different directions, right?
They're
So
also doing part-time jobs and stuff. Yeah.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
they dance well. You've got
The talent.
very good, talented, let's say,
Yeah.
dancers,
Yeah.
and culturally talented as well, right? Because you have your path of your culture, which has to be, let's say, shown to the Georgian community, as you are in a different country. When you are coming to a different country, you can show that, and we give that opportunity as a university. We give the opportunity, and in our talks, we also mentioned, for example, right? I said that we've got Diwali party, right?
Yeah. You said we were talking, and then he mentioned about Diwali party and the
mentioned
colors. You said obviously the
colors,
Holi
festival,
Yeah.
as such, is always as a date, let's say, emphasized and highlighted as well. And
You
students-
mentioned about a band you formed with the students. Yeah.
Oh yes, we have had one opportunity as such, and one occasion when students approached me, and whenever they found out that I'm a musician,
That's great.
there were usually in the classroom at least 2 or 3 individuals can play on different musical instruments, right? Guitar, drums, and some can sing well. So it appeared that in one of the groups, and that group was formed mainly by my Indian students, and they were very talented musical-wise, and they asked me, they approached, and if I could give them the possibility to form a band, basically, or would there be an opportunity as such to perform on a certain occasion? And I said, let's give it a try.
Sure.
Why not? It was an interesting project. We formed a band, and they even performed at one of the events as such over here. So, and that was a starting point that it could be quite of a successful opportunity as such, right? So, having therefore,
So it was fun.
it was fun. It was fun, absolutely. So students can actually form the whole schedule in a fun way. For the learning process to become an interesting process for you, you need to somehow formulate your own framework where you'll find things fun and not exhausting.
Yeah.
And that can be possible.
Definitely.
That is definitely possible.
And so if you're having a bit of fun, then you're also charged up for the next day, doing
Absolutely.
productive stuff.
Yes. So find for yourself some kind of project or some type of, let's say, hobby or certain, surround yourself with people who can give you energy and motivation as well. Yes.
Okay, so one last question, because I said to professor as well that students, these days like to keep it short, so they are not open to watching long minutes of video. So just one last question. Most students ask about what kind of clinical exposure they'll get here, because that's a concern for most students, because they are like, will I face a language barrier when interacting with patients, or do I actually get to interact with patients? Do I get to examine them? Do
Especially
I get
when
to
they
talk
go
to
to
them?
the different country, right?
That's a bit of concern for the students. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, do students actually get to involve hands-on approach with the patients, and do they get to interact with them, and how exactly the clinical exposure thing works here?
So the interesting thing is that the previous question that you asked about, let's say, learning methods, and I did mention during that, let's say, those elements, the role plays.
Yeah, the role play.
Me personally, I included in the very first semester course the role play, which is a mandated type of, let's say, course, mandatory course, and the students start having that experience in the very first during the very first steps. The very first year, the very first semester, imagine. So they actually perform in the simulated settings. And we're making a simulation as if they are doctors. And the other part of students, they are patients, and the interaction in between them. They are seeing the problems, challenges, they're facing those things. And I'm always telling my students, it's better for you to make mistakes during the classes, in the classroom environment, rather than to make mistakes with the real patients whenever you become doctors. And plus, imagine if the student starts all of that during the first semester, the very first steps, actually, whenever the student is starting the analysis of how to walk, basically, in the field of medicine, right? Then the student becomes more of self-confident individual whenever the person becomes a licensed doctor, right? So because my understanding is that students should know that from the very first steps. But directly to your question, officially, let's say being in the environment of hospital, they can have that experience during the third year of the studies, right?
Okay.
And during the third year of the studies, they are at the hospitals, clinics, supervised by the doctors, experienced healthcare professionals, where they can see and experience the real medical life, I would say. In regards of the barrier, for example, that can exist, right? So it's understandable, language barrier. There is an opportunity for the supervisors and professors, doctors, to give the specific type of translation opportunity during that process. However, it's also very important that from the very start, our foreign students have got the opportunity to start
studying Georgian,
foreign language, in our case, Georgian. And that can give very good, let's say,
basic understanding of what patients will speak to you.
Absolutely, yes. But again, if extra help is needed, then professors doctors are always there to translate.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's it. I think we can keep it short. And so thank you, Professor. You really explained all of our queries, and I think students have got a clear idea as well. So thank you for.
So if you are ready, and if you're really ready, and your mindset is very clear about the things such as taking a journey in medicine, then we would love and we would like to give you the opportunity to join us at International Black Sea University.
Okay.
And give you
any last message, like if a student wants to come here, any last message you want to give to him or her?
Well, we're waiting for you. We're here, and we're here to give you all of the knowledge that we have, and give you support, absolutely support, motivation, facilitation, and the whole process, because we understand. Me personally, I understand, especially because I have had quite of the long journey, an international journey, and I understand how it may feel like whenever you are abroad in a different country, and you're far away from your family, from your friends, from your relatives, from your hometown, home place. But Georgia is very, let's say, friendly country, and here you'll find lots of new friends who will definitely take care of the, let's say, aspect to give you all of that knowledge in the field of medicine. And we are waiting for all of those folks who have already decided that they want to become tomorrow's doctors.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. That was an amazing session. And I would like to inform you that we have put the form link in the description. So if you have any more queries, then we'll try to resolve it. So fill the form, ask all your queries, and do subscribe to our channel. That's it.